Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another video on the Civic here. Just thought I'd go through and do a little bit of an update and a small little install on something that I've been holding on to for a while. I know a lot of you guys keep asking about the whole vent situation on the radio install. Just to show you guys, we're still not quite there yet. To be honest with you, I just haven't had the time to go digging around the junkyard and see what will fit. Anytime I've gone to the junkyard here recently, I have just been pulling things that I need. Speaking of which, I know a lot of you guys have seen the passenger side damage on the car. If you haven't seen it up close, this is kind of what it looks like. So I went ahead and cut out a little replacement section for that. Picked that up at a junkyard for about 15-20 bucks for that section, nothing crazy. The only issue is it stops about right here, so I do need to order like the whole quarter panel section just so I can tie it into that piece as well. And actually what I used to cut that out was this little guy. I bought it just before I went to the junkyard, and let me just tell you, that is worth the money right there. That thing is awesome. I mean, I cut that out in 10 minutes max probably. Content coming soon on fixing that damage. As far as other updates go, I really don't have any, other than the fact that I'm just now realizing I never posted the video on putting these Kosei's on the car, so I probably should get that video finished. A little bit more of an in-depth process than you might think, but you guys haven't seen those, which I'm sure you have. Those are the Kosei's. Today we have something that I've been putting off for quite a while, and that is these. So these are 99 to 2000 tail lights, and as you can see, they look way better than the originals. This is a super easy install. This shouldn't take us more than 10-15 minutes, and I want to say I paid around $120 for the pair. Don't quote me on that. I ordered these like, I want to say 3 months ago, and they've just been sitting over in the corner. I've had other stuff going on, as you can see. But I wanted to go ahead and install them today and give you guys a little bit of an update on the car. Nothing new on the vents just yet. We're going to be working on that quarter panel damage here soon. Other than that, that's pretty much it on the car. I've got a couple of interesting ideas that I want to do for the car. You guys really enjoyed the double dim video, considering nobody has really made a video on that. Actually, there was another guy who made one after me, and he gave me credit, which is awesome. Shout out to that guy. I forget his name. I think it's Asian Garage, but shout out to that guy for giving me credit. It's basically just another video just like mine. So now you have kind of two different perspectives on it rather than just mine. But yeah, I've got a couple of ideas on things I want to do that would make some pretty good videos. Hint, hint, front end swap, door panel swap, power windows, stuff like that. That'll be for the future, but today we're gonna go ahead and get started on installing these taillights. As I said before, this is gonna take 10-15 minutes tops, and it is gonna look so much better. So let's jump right into it. I just watched that footage back and realized that I got a brake light out. Cool. Get this out the way. What I'm seeing here, based off the back of this tail light, we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and they're gonna be a little bit difficult to get to from just this little panel right here. But I know it's a huge pain. I've already pulled this panel off before, and I know this thing absolutely sucks to get off. So I really don't want to pull this whole thing off. So it's going to suck a little bit, but you can get to all 4 of those nuts just through this little hole right here. There's one on each side. That one's kind of hard to see, but you can in fact get to all of them. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to get it done that way. It's almost night time, waiting for the right time. Gotta get the
is right, I'm scared to death. Scared of your eyes looking into my eyes. Scared that I'll back out and hold my breath. Wake up one morning and see your face. I can feel it coming back. These shivers are every day. Whoa, I say it's over, I get out of bed and leave. Yeah, just like that. I got the shivers. Whenever I would think about.
Alright, so let's talk a little bit about what just transpired. So, if you look here, you got this one plug, and I really like the way they did this. This is kind of how my Subaru is. Everything is plugged in, and then the plug from the car itself goes right here, and that connects everything all together, rather than just having all of these different bulbs just freaking hanging out or whatever. So that's super cool how they did that. But basically 4 bolts. The top left one, the one that sits right here, I had to use a wrench. The rest of them I used a ratchet. They are 8mm. There's 4 of them. So now we need to go ahead and transfer all of these bulbs and everything over to this one. Alright, so if we look here on the old taillight, it looks like we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that we need to swap over. So we're gonna have 4 bulbs, whatever this is, I'm not really sure, and then this harness. 6 things in total. Should be pretty self-explanatory. Just pull them off, put them right back on where they went, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. I think mine were leaking just a little bit. There's a giant puddle of water inside of here. Sick.
We started out on a Wednesday and I couldn't figure out why you would be mad at me. Whoa, you say it's nothing but it never ever changes, just like that. It's always whatever anyway, every time we try to talk, I am out of here any day. It's always something, no, we never ever changes, just like that. I get the shivers whenever I'm thinking about you. Just wanna leave and live without you. Be on my own again. I get the shivers whenever you go out of line, yeah. I feel it creeping down my spine, yeah. Wanna be alone again.
Okay, so the passenger side is all installed, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right off the bat that the fitment is not exactly what I would call great. So if we look at the OEM taillight, you can see a nice closed gap, pretty even looking gap down on the bottom for the most part, nothing crazy. And then you go over to this one. The gap going down this side is actually not terrible, but there's a rather large, and this may be an issue going on with my bumper. As you can see, I got a nice little gap there. I think that's actually a bumper problem now that I look at it, because if you go over to this side, my bumper over here lines up pretty good, so the taillight lines up pretty good. So yeah, I think we got a bumper issue going on here, because there's a lot of movement there. Okay, so that's good. So fitment on these is actually pretty good. But if you look, here is the passenger and the driver. So this is before and after. In my opinion, that looks so much better than this. Also, these are pretty hazy and old and crusty, and these are nice and fresh and new. I will say the one thing that I do not like is this kind of ugly white, nasty, it almost looks like it's been a little bit turned a little orange from just sitting in my garage, and that's not good. If you see, you can look at the old ones and tell that, you know, they're all black, and then these new ones, I believe this is the one I just pulled out of the box. But yeah, you can see this one's kind of got like an orange haze to it. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. But when the hatch is closed, it's not like you can see that anyways. You guys might be asking yourself, why on earth would you swap something that doesn't really make that much of a difference? Well, I just think that those look 1,000 times better, and we haven't made a video on this yet, but I did get JDM taillights for my Impreza, so not exactly the same thing, but they will be a little matching, so that's cool. So that's how you install the taillight. I'm just gonna run through this other one really quick, do a little bit of a time lapse, and then we will show you guys the finished product. So the recording shut off. I'm not really sure how much of that footage that I lost, but taillights are all done. They are installed. I think they look a million times better than the stock ones did. All in all, for as cheap as this was, again, I want to say around $100, $120 for the pair. These are aftermarket. They are not OEM. I want to say that they're not too bad. The fitment is not perfect by any means. For the price, they are not terrible. Now, I would personally recommend go to a junkyard, see if you can find a 99 to 2000 and pull the OEM taillights. Obviously, they're going to fit a lot better. If they're in good shape, they're going to look a lot better, and you won't have any weird gaps or any bulb plugging in issues like I did. But they do work. They do install relatively easily, and they're not bad. For a cheap little way to make the rear end of the car look better, I would say all in all, definitely worth it. That's going to be it for this episode of the Civic. Again, if you guys enjoy the series on the Civic, make sure you check out the playlist for it. And also, I will link these taillights down below if anybody is interested in doing that as well. And that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.